Call to order, pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Stephanie Euler.
Here.
Haley Keyser.
Here.
Anthony Reynolds.
Here.
James Stubbs.
Here.
Brian Venziano.
Here.
Debbie Koalas. Here. Dave Hart.
Here.
Aubrey Searway.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of May 5th?
So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Next up, superintendent report.
Good evening, school committee members, students and staff, and community members. Congratulations to the Herman High School class of 2025. Saturday's graduation was moving and thoughtful and memorable. We're so proud of our graduates and wish them a wonderful journey as they take on new roles and responsibilities. Thank you to committee chair Stephanie Euler and RSU 87 Superintendent Mark Turner for joining Mr. Walsh and me on stage to congratulate each student. It made for a very special celebration. As we close out another incredible school year, there's so much to celebrate across Herman. These final days are always filled with so much happiness, field days bursting with energy, class trips, and heartfelt ceremonies that mark important milestones, especially for our pre-K, grade 4, and grade 8 students. Thank you to the faculty, staff, and parents for a wonderful year of growth and joyful learning. There were some community members who raised concerns at the May 5th meeting about the high school's emergency procedures, especially in the case of a fire evacuation. Please be assured that all safety procedures were followed as recommended by our town's excellent fire chief. The school committee members received a summary memo from me outlining the safety measures taken both at the very beginning of the school year to prepare for such an event and during the fire response itself. Herman High School followed all protocols. On tonight's agenda is the recommendation of staff for our extended school year program and several new elementary school teachers. We also have policies for second read and adoption. Finally, I know there are folks eagerly waiting for coach approvals. We take these assignments seriously. Any delay in recommending a particular coach is due to my diligence in ensuring we are moving forward with the best possible candidate. Finally, tonight marks the final school committee meeting for Mr. James Stubbs. James joined our school committee in November of 2024 to fill a vacancy created by a resignation. The time and effort he's dedicated to the committee and the overall school community is greatly appreciated. I have found him to be a grounded and thoughtful individual, and I will miss his wise counsel. Thank you.
Next up, student reports.
JRTC will assist with tomorrow's election held at the high school, and next week they will take 10 students to Camp Deergo, which is a leadership camp held at Camp Roosevelt. The state track meet is tomorrow at MDI, and the baseball and softball playoffs will be this Thursday. Last month, Key Club held a spring community cleanup, and graduation was last Saturday. Drum choir performed the thank you song, the high school band performed the processional and recessional song, and the Hawk Battalion provided a color guard. And collectively, the class of 2025 had over $2.7 million in scholarships. And final exams are tomorrow.
Thank you, Aubrey. Next up, subcommittee reports, professional discussion and policy.
We met on May 27th. The general discussion about current student dress policy. Current policy that's in place is 2004, so dress code was a little bit different then than it is now. Policies related to Title IX will be brought forth for a second reading at a future meeting. On the agenda, there are 10 policies that are brought back for second read on this agenda.
Thank you. The only thing that I would add is those ones that were on the Title IX, we had committed that we were going to do a workshop. So I don't know if that's, you guys already have a plan and that's going to be at the next meeting, or
Our goal is to have that at the July meeting so that we can take time to thoughtfully present what the changes are.
Perfect. I appreciate that. Thank you. Next, finance report.
We reviewed Ms. Youngblood's provided an estimated end-of-year revenue, which is in the back of our packet for the end-of-year budget. And it's approximately $300,000 in additional revenue that was not budgeted, which was a very positive outcome. There were several contracts discussed, one being a Destiny library software, which we will...
For voter ID. It allows for a free identification card for voting.
The Transco copier contract is being renewed, and that was discussed that it would be just a one-year agreement so that we could put out an RFP for our copier needs for the 26-27 and beyond school year. The school lunch program is purchasing vending machines so that they can have access to healthy snacks and be included to accommodate athletes during after-school activities. And that is actually items that we actually fill into that vending machine. And the purchase of that is through the Hot Lunch program. We talked about IT help desk and replacing the frontline system. And it was referred over to the IT subcommittee. And pending their recommendations, the finance committee will support. And then the postage machine renewal was discussed, and we reduced from 4 postal machines down to 2 to reduce cost and efficiency. And then there was a discussion for committee approval on the transfer of funds between cost centers for 5%, which is done annually to make sure we balance the budget, and the finance committee supports that. And then we are looking into, or we are hopeful to see a change in the way in which we review monthly, during the monthly meeting, that we review warrants and look at this month and the next month's budget so that we can be looking ahead on those things.
Thank you. Technology.
Yeah, we met last week on June 4th. First off, we reviewed a proposal for help desk and asset management. We reviewed that and agreed to proceed as discussed. Mr. Bridges provided information on a phased approach to provide Google Chromebooks for staff. The district has been offered a free trial of a limited number of Chromebooks, and we'll roll those out to the middle school. Long-term goal is to have a single device platform for most staff and students. We talked about a transition plan to reduce the number of different student devices across the schools to get us all on limited devices versus the many we have now. Mr. Bridges informed us of a state and local cybersecurity grant that he came across. He has opted the district in, and there was no action to be taken at this time. We also talked about the copier contract and the one-year renewal at $35,000 to replace 6 copiers. He gave us a status on the E-rate. The district still has not received reimbursements in 2022. We do not currently anticipate having any projects eligible for E-rate until FY28. We spent some time reviewing security, discussed the firewall that we have in place, as well as the Go Guardian program. We discussed a question around the school's security cameras and access. Access is restricted to administrators, the IT department, the school resource officer, school secretaries, and relevant staff. Lastly, we had a discussion around Wi-Fi points around the campus and how far those signals spread. They're going to do some work to make sure that those Wi-Fi signals stay on campus versus spreading outside of campus.
I just wanted to mention the Go Guardian, the feature that picks up certain language that they added to the kids' devices, and I'm proud to say, thankfully, Mr. Freeman shared that has already been successful. It picks up trigger words that kids might use or search for, whether it's self-harm, and so it's been tested and works, and is well worth the money. So it's a great thing for our kids, and helps us be proactive to keep them safe. So.
Next, curriculum.
Kathleen James. We attended the meeting. Subcommittee reviewed Dr. Sargent's recommendation for a curriculum director's job description that included a curriculum director, 50%, and a math instructional coach, 50%. A discussion was that our preference would be not to specify content area for the instructional coach at this time. It then moved into student achievement data, and Dr. Sargent has worked out or is working out with the leadership team a presentation for student achievement that would be presented at the school committee meeting later in the fall. An approximate target date was put out as October, but understanding the volume of data that needs to be looked at, that date hasn't been set. And then we discussed a plan to create a curriculum renewal schedule, which is a 3-year plan that Dr. Sargent gave us as an example, and it's something we're very excited to see and move forward with. So, is there anything else to add, James? No.
Next, facilities and safety. Did you guys not meet?
We met.
We didn't print them.
I don't have the minutes. One of the key topics is we were talking about the safety on the lights for the elementary school parking lot. And the group that wants to put up lights for the football field, I really think that we should somehow come together and figure out how to get the lights to shine, put up our own lights on those poles if they'll let us, which I believe they will. They also said we could, the trench that they dig for the wires, we could use that trench to run wires for those lights. And that's one of the top things that was on our big $12 million projects to do. And I think we need to work with the town manager. I've talked to Mrs. Sargent, she kind of agrees, but that's something we're gonna have to work together for.
Thank you, Tom.
If I could, the other 2 pieces that were on that agenda for facilities and safety, we reviewed a classroom transition at the high school where the UTC program will be housed for a particular class section. We were going to put that class on the 2nd floor, but as Mr. Walsh spoke with other high schools that also house a similar program in their schools, it was determined that 2nd floor and near academic rooms was probably not the best location. So Mr. Walsh worked with our head custodian and our supervisor, Mr. Davis, to identify a better space. So we briefed the committee on that. And then finally, Mr. Perkins from our town was kind enough to also meet with Mr. Davis and me to review a traffic safety sidewalk plan. Still very much in the early stages, but there is a desire to provide a safer walking path for our Herman Middle School students as they're coming out to the main Billings Road, and then especially perhaps crossing. Right now the students are making the safe and smart choice to go down to the light and then cross there if they need to cross. But we want to be mindful about line of sight for cars right at that opening. And so Mr. Perkins just walked us through a few different options with nothing firm at this point.
And UTC got that changed. They're very excited, so thank you very much.
Next up is public comment. This is an opportunity for members of the public to comment on agenda items, contribute info that may be of interest to the school committee, or ask clarifying questions. Please wait to be recognized and identify yourself before speaking. This is not the time to register complaints or promote a personal agenda. And please remember that you may not identify any person by name or job function. And I did just want to note on the sign-up sheet, there's no contact info listed for follow-up. So if you are speaking and want that follow-up, Dr. Sargent does that, so thank you. First up is Wayne Dowdy.
I'm gonna
So-
wait.
You're going to wait?
Is it okay if I wait?
Yes, you can. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next up is Marion Hunsinger.
Good evening, everyone. As you know, the Herman Track State Championships is tomorrow. And my daughter is a pole vaulter. And she is, again, competing against a male, a biological male. I know that you have this on your agenda to talk about, and I appreciate that, and I hope that you will give it an answer. Either yes, you agree with that boys can compete against girls, or no, you don't. I have reached out to people on the committee, and one person did answer me directly what their opinion was, and I appreciate it. And I respect that. Others didn't, and I wish they My daughter couldn't make it tonight because she is studying for finals and preparing for her meet. But she did want me to pass this along to all of you so that you can be aware of it. She said, me not wanting to compete against a biological male doesn't mean I hate anyone. It just means that I want a fair shot. It's about ensuring that there's equal athletic opportunity specifically for women. And she's only 17 and she gets it. She gets it that it's not about hate. It's not about not wanting people to compete. Everyone should be able to compete, and they need to do it fairly. And they need to not take away another person's opportunity. You cannot marginalize one group and lift up another. We all have to be lifted. And that was her message from a 17-year-old kid. And I think we need to listen to her. And I hope that when you do get around to having a serious discussion about this, that you will take a stand one way or the other. Don't mire us down in details. Stand up for what's right. And that's what I charge all of you with doing. And I hope that you will. Thank you. And thank you for the follow-up on that fire incident. I appreciate that. It was very clear. That's all I have.
Thank you. On that note, I just would ask that you please follow up with Dr. Sargent. We want to support Olivia. And I would ask for ideas on how you feel that we can stop another school from participating in sending for her to compete against. So I just would like to hear your thoughts and for you to share them with us, please.
Okay, sure. When?
Please.
At
Anytime you can email us. Yes,
Oh,
please.
okay, yeah.
We're open for ideas, so
Okay,
thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Next up is Danielle Haggerty.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I really appreciate the seriousness that you're taking the Title IX issue with. I know I spoke a few meetings back, and again, it's unfortunate or sad that our athlete is competing against a biological male again in a meet, and we haven't publicly come out with a statement or an action or a request of the Maine Principal Association, Maine School Board Association, our legislators, or our governor. So I ask that you do at some point support our girl and help advocate for change at those levels. I also, I really appreciate you guys dedicating a work session to it so the public can speak to it. And I would encourage you all to get an outside legal opinion from our current lawyer. It's my understanding, I could be wrong, that our lawyer is also the Maine School Board Association lawyer, also the teachers union lawyer and our lawyer. I do business, and in business that would be considered, a conflict. And I appreciate that they may have systems in place to prevent a technical conflict, and we may have agreed to accept the situation as it stands. But I would encourage you in this situation to get an outside legal opinion, because Title IX is very clear, and I'm not a lawyer, but it does say sex, it doesn't say gender. And so I think there's a conflict between a federal law and a state law. And so I think that an outside opinion might be able to give you guys a different perspective other than what is being given to us currently. So I would really encourage that, and I appreciate the seriousness. It is not this boy's fault that he's in this situation. The rules are made by adults, and adults need to decide whether or not those rules are fair and safe, because yes, it's pole vaulting, and yes, it's maybe a small group of girls, but next it could be the soccer field, the hockey rink, and it could be that they have to change right next to him. In this situation, that's not the case, but it could be. And so we are the grown adults that are supposed to protect our kids in these situations. And I don't mean protect from harm, but the emotional harm that exists. So thank you.
Thank you. Next up. Did you want to speak, Mr. Dowdy?
Or is it something specific on the agenda?
Okay, thank you. Next, resignations and personnel. Yeah, we have 3 resignations, and then do I have a motion to approve the special education extended school year program at the contracted rate?
Madam Chair, point of order though, do you want personnel requires an opportunity for public comment specific to that agenda? So just for form, right, we're moving into the personnel section of the,
We don't have the new business.
right, so we go to,
No, we have new business and old business, we usually do it.
right, the item.
Did anybody want to speak about any of the other items on the agenda up until new business? Or old business?
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve the special education extended school year program at their contracted rate?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Next, we'll do these separately. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation to employ Amelia Solcom?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries, except for the abstentions. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation to employ Erica Mitchell?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation to employ Joanne Heath?
So moved. Second.
Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation to employ Kimberly Stewart?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Second. Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation of the in-house transfer of Rion Christian?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
And any abstentions?
Because it's middle school.
Yes. All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation of the in-house transfer of Angela Scripture?
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion or abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation of the in-house transfer of Denise Young?
So moved.
A second.
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation to employ the following coaching positions as stated? There's quite a few of them. There's 10, 16, 19, 20,
So
22.
moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I would like to actually have us look at amending that motion and excluding the girls JV basketball coach. I believe that the varsity and JV position should be hired together.
So we need to table.
Yep, to table that one.
Table.
Approve all except for that one, to table.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? Did you have anything to?
Is it affect anything?
No, I just know that usually, I believe varsity works closely together with that position, and I don't see that we have that on here, so I'd like to see them done together. It's quite a collaborative team effort in my mind. But.
What is the timeline for the basketball team though? I think it's something we at least need to be aware of.
So the one consideration is that there still is a sincere desire on my part to not interfere with any sort of a summer conditioning program for girls and boys basketball. And in tabling this, there is the possible consequence that my staffing options become limited for the summer program.
So your motion was Yeah, to table it,
Only that one though.
only that one.
You could always do a special meeting if need be too.
Any other discussion? So just to be clear, the motion is on the table, that seconded is to approve all positions except for tabling the JV basketball.
You need to approve the amendment, which the amendment was to table, right? So
Yeah.
then we have to approve the table.
Which I,
So we haven't actually voted on it.
oh, will you second? But we're gonna vote, yeah, we're gonna vote. I wanted everybody to be clear on what they're voting on, I'm just recapping. Any abstentions? All those in favor?
Table,
Table,
only that one.
yeah, only that one.
Okay.
Unanimous motion carries.
And now we vote to approve the list with the table.
Nope, the amendment
You
goes.
did that with the.
Yeah.
With the amendment,
With
yeah.
the amendment.
All set, okay.
Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation to employ the 7 middle school athletic positions below?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions?
Because it's middle school.
All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve the Destiny Library software?
So moved. It was discussed at the finance and tech meeting.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve the Transco copier contract renewal?
So moved. It was discussed at the finance and tech meeting. Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, the only thing I just wanna say, I keep hearing interchange, we're not getting new copiers, it's just new maintenance. Sometimes I'm hearing that interchangeably, so.
Yeah, it's a partial replacement, so we are maintaining six or seven.
Okay.
One of the two numbers, maintaining current 6 or 7, getting 6 or 7 new ones. I forget which way it goes, but it's a half replacement down the middle. So
Yeah, we were gaining a couple, is that right?
yes, so we own these copiers at the end of the lease. So one of the copiers we own that we're going to keep and add it to the service contract to get a copier at the second floor here at the high school.
Thank you, thank you. Any other discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve the high school lunch program vindication?
So moved. Vending machines. Yep.
Is that what it says? Vindication?
I'll
Yeah,
second.
there's a.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, second.
Any discussion?
It's just discussed in finance.
Does it, anybody need a further explanation on what that is? Okay. Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the web-based IT help desk system incident IQ?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions?
These are budget items, so.
Yeah. All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve the Pitney Bowes lease renewal
Postage machines. So
for
moved.
2 postage machines?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? I do want to note that's a reduction of a postage machine. Two.
Reduction of
Two.
2 from 4 to 6.
Yes, so thank you guys for that. Lots of great work there. Any other discussion?
I just thought the price was higher, but it's, what's the
Well,
It was a reduction.
the
Oh.
original request was for 4, 1 for each school and 1 for the district office. And we looked further into what the true needs were, and we were able to bring it to 2. So there's your decrease in cost.
Okay, thank you. Any abstentions? Although, did you have one question? No, you're good. All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve the acceptance of the fuel up grant equipment?
Motion approved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Could she just speak on that?
Our food services director applied for a grant and it was received. So what the Fuel Up program is it's a card with the necessary equipment to make breakfast smoothies. So when we start school in September at it's just at the high school, right? There will be the added breakfast option of healthy smoothies.
At no cost. Are we not going
This is all handled through cafeteria funding, so it's not part of the district budget. But it's a grant, so they're providing it to us free of charge for the machine.
The machine is the grant. It's not a cash grant. It's the equipment is what the grant award is.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any extensions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the transfer up to 5% of the funds from one cost center to be used to balance the other cost centers?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
kind of the same thing I say every year. I don't like when we're moving money, we don't have a known need and we don't have a specific which line item to which line item. And I know it gets reported out later in the year at times, but.
I agree with you actually, and I would like to be able, is the next meeting going to be enough detail for us to be able to see that? It probably, well, sorry.
So it really should be done before the end of the fiscal year.
Oh, yes. I meant to say, when will we be able to get the detail?
Not until we actually close the books and the numbers stop moving, because that's the point where I can actually say this cost center is for sure under, over, etc.
As we move into the end of June, do you think you could be prepared to have a memo explaining that to the committee members?
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
No, because I do agree with you. I want to be able to see more detail on and sooner on those numbers as well. More discussion on that item? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve the 10 warrants as listed?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. I don't believe we had any absent school committee members. Oh, sorry, thank you. Old business, I wanted to open it up for public comment. Okay. Thank you. The second reading of the policies, we could take them in a sum unless, did folks have some on them? I don't mind doing them individually. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the?
I move to approve the second reading of policies A, listed A through J.
Second. Oh, that's right, yeah. And then on the record.
Any discussion on those? These are second readings. Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the 2025-26 school calendar revision for the graduation date, changing to Friday night for the class of 26?
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
The only question that I have is, are we 100% sure that that track meet is on Saturday and that there's no chances of that changing? I understand that that's the conflict that we're working around, and I support that. I think it's important for our athletes to not have to choose, but I just want to know if we have confirmation on.
No, we do not. Just like this year was moved to Tuesday, if you wish we knew that in advance,
I know.
but we didn't.
Nothing's 100%.
I get that 100%, but we're changing a date from a Saturday to a Friday graduation.
Changing tradition.
Yep, and that's great. But what are you gonna do if the state track meets now on Fridays? I'm just asking. It's a risk we take.
Never has been, right?
Asking. I hear you, Tony. I appreciate it. No, you're exactly. I just asked. Just asking.
I do want to commend though, Mr. Walsh took the added steps of not only reaching out to the cross center to understand what dates would be open, but then he reached out to the current junior class, next year's seniors, and talked through their feelings about June 5th. And there was a tremendous amount of agreement that was a date they were comfortable with.
We all kind of collectively agreed that Friday just worked best. Like they used to do it back 20, 25 years ago. So it just, the only concern, and I think the concern is from parents, was like, well, what about the going out partying afterwards, and that's kind of where your project granting thing. So I really don't see a problem with it, and the dates we looked at were Thursday or Friday, and we thought Friday would work best, but it's more like the weekend block, and people, if it's a year in advance, people can make arrangements.
I agree, and to your point, I appreciate that the class officers, the handful that there are, were reached out to. I just hope that that state track meet stays on Saturday. I mean, obviously, I know rain can't predict it, but any other discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve school committee new business? Thank you. I'd like to open that up to public comment. Feel free.
Other than my phone, I brought it up in your,
Could you come up to the podium, please? And are you speaking about the new items that we have listed?
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to let you know that I don't have bad hearing. I've had it tested and I cannot hear you. So if you're going to have these meetings, you should put microphones in front of you so we can all hear what you're saying. If you sit back there, you just can't hear. And so it does have to do with business because I can't hear the business. So if have it where you do have microphones, if you can't, put them in here.
I appreciate that feedback. Could you look into that part for this area
Because
for next
people are
time, please?
facing you when they speak, you can't hear them either because they're facing you. We don't hear what they have to say.
No, I appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Do I have a motion to approve school committee members, Debbie and myself will interview the student representative candidates for next year?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding for the following revisions to the teacher collective bargaining agreement for the period of September 1st, 25 to August 31st, 27?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to enter executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A to discuss compensation of employees at 7:07 PM?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? We will go. Yes, all those in favor? Thank you. Unanimous.
Folks, if you're waiting, there will be action taken as a result of the closed session, if you want to wait.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so we can't put our feet.
Tablecloth?
Yeah.
Probably meant for fuller table too.
Return from executive session at 7:19.
I move to approve the superintendent's recommendations as discussed in executive session.
Second.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. Motion to adjourn 7:20 PM.
So moved.
Any discussion?
Yeah, thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Unanimous, motion carries.